Hey, I know I abused you and gave you so much trauma and literally made you fear for your life. But it's okay, because I'm hot and I had a bad childhood or some other reason that makes it all okay. So in the future, if you by chance abuse our kids, maybe I'll think it's okay because I abused you, which means you had a bad experience, which means it's okay, which means wait.
Hey guys, it's Jasmine and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a discussion type video. I simply want to ask this question and I want to hear your guys' thoughts about it in the comments below. So I wanted to ask you guys, do you think romanticizing abusive relationships in fiction, mainly books, is okay? So whenever this topic comes up, I straight away, in a snap, I say no, I want a healthy relationship. Healthy relationships are so much more romantic, so much more sweet, but I realized lately that a lot of the relationships I ship in books have a lot of abusiveness to them. Let me explain. The first ship I'm going to mention is Warner and Juliet, better known as Warnette. So these characters are from the Shatter Me series. In fact, the whole reason I read the Shatter Me series was because I searched enemies to lovers, so I basically read the entire first 3 books for this relationship. I really was in the mood for enemies to lovers. And I love this relationship. Like, I think it's so romantic. I love Warner, I love Juliet, I love them together. But the more I think about it, the more I remember that he abused her. He made her wear uncomfortable clothes that she didn't like. He made her feel so uncomfortable so many times. He kept her in a prison. I don't know if my memory is good, but he kept her in a prison, making her think she's some type of monster. He made her think that she killed a baby. Even if it was a fake baby, he put her through that trauma, and he says he did it for her own good. Now, if I was in that situation, I would literally hate him. And she did hate him for a bit, but she felt this connection to him. And then there's Warner's character development. The more I think about it, the more I see that his character development is mainly only if Juliet's there. If she's not there, then he wouldn't help these people. He only does it because she's there, they're her friends. He doesn't do it on his own. But I just love their chemistry and how he's a powerful man who became a softie for her, who gave up so many things for her, the life he knew. And sometimes when I'm reading the book, I want to be Juliet, who's kissing Warner. But in reality, I would never go for him if he made me go through all those things. Then we move on to Jude and Cardan from The Cruel Prince. So Jude and Cardan have a very unique relationship, I'd say. They have a lot of unique lines in the books that I like. But he bullied her a lot, and he made her fear for her life. Like, I don't know, but the more I think about it, like, after they show that he was abused too, as in a sense to make it seem like it's okay for how cruel he is because someone was so cruel to him, which, no. No. But I also like this ship together because I go to books to fantasize, I like dark, evil guys or girls. In every book I read, if there's an evil person, I always have a favoring to them, And here's some more examples of that. The Darkling and Alina from Shadow and Bone, the Grisha trilogy. Now, it's been a while since I read this trilogy, but the things I do remember are that I wanted Alina to go dark and be with the Darkling. I felt like they had more chemistry than she had with all the love interests she had in that book series. And there's so many times where I'd fantasize about the Darkling having an interest in me, because he's this evil guy who has this interest in Alina and has this fascination with her, obsession with her, I don't know. But in reality, I would not want to be with a mass murderer, But I go to books because that's where I fantasize. And then in the Red Queen series, Maven and Mare, he literally enslaved her for almost an entire book, traumatized her by showing her a dead baby. He killed a dead baby and he killed countless others. But I liked him more than anyone in the book. I wanted Mare to just finally be like, you know what, I'll be with you, Like, I don't know what was wrong with me, but I really wanted them together. But in reality, I would not want to be with Maven. I loved Maven and I wanted to be his evil queen, but in reality, no, I would be scared for my life if I was around him, and I wouldn't want to be with someone who killed so many people, And then from the Caravel trilogy, Tella and Jax made Tella fear for her life. She thought she was going to die. He mind controlled her. Okay, he manipulated her. But I had a soft spot for him. I was so sad what happened to him at the end of the trilogy. I just wish Tella would have liked him more, you know, like given her heart to him. I wanted to be with Jax. I'd fantasize about being with Jax, and I always have a romantic interest in the evil ones, you know? Even in my own work in progress, I have a character whose species is so cruel, so evil, but he's kind to my main character. They have some bonding moments, and they share a moment where they both consent. It's a romantic moment, but right after that, he does something so bad to her, so cruel to my main character, that if anyone were to put themselves in my main character's shoes, they would be like, no, I'm not gonna be with this guy anymore, you know? And so I posted it for feedback, and someone commented that they still think my main character and this guy have a chance. And I shared it to my friends thinking, what the heck, why would this person think that my main character would still go for this guy after he did this horrible, horrible thing to her? But then I realized that if I was reading this book with like no idea what was going to happen, if I was reading it, I might have had hope for these two characters as well, since I'm usually keen on the evil guys, you know? And so I've noticed this trend a lot in fiction where they make it seem like the abuse is nothing and they romanticize the relationship. The book After by Anna Todd, there's Tessa and Hardin. I hate that book. I despise it. I will shit on it whenever I can because I literally hate that book. The relationship is so toxic. It is so toxic. He verbally abuses her. He emotionally abuses her. So many things that I just hate. And I hate it when people justify that. You need to read the rest of the series so that you can see Hardin's character development and that he's not like that anymore. But it literally just makes me so angry when people do that because it's not right. But then here I am liking these other relationships, like Warner and Juliet, where Warner literally made her think she killed a baby, even if it was for her own good, you know? Like, I don't know. So that's why I want to hear what you guys think in the comments below. Do you guys think romanticizing abusive relationships in books are okay? Because books are a place where people go to fantasize about certain things. Honestly, I'm a hypocrite when it comes to these things because I love these evil characters. I like these ships where the evil guy gets with the main character even though he did these horrible things, horrible, horrible, awful things to her. Another thing I want to say is that when I was on Wattpad when I was younger reading fan fictions and all that, a lot of the relationships in the books were like slaves falling in love with their owners or so many other abusive tropes that I'm not into that, you know? But I realized that a lot of young people were writing those stories, and I'm thinking, is it because there's so many of these kind of relationships in YA books that young people read? So I think romanticizing abusive relationships in novels is a no. You should not do that. Even in my own work in progress, as soon as my character does that awful thing to my main character, they're not getting together after that because I don't want to make it seem like it's okay that he did that. Okay, you know? So I want to know what your guys' thoughts on this topic are in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Maybe like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.